This video is going to talk about the resource type feature in Project Insight, how to set up the feature in the add-ons page, and the most common best case practices used by customers in Project Insight. So first, to get to the add-on, you'll go to your add-ons page. Let's just go ahead and search for resource type. There it is right here. Let's configure it. Again, if you didn't already have it installed, then you'll need to install the add-on in the Get More Add-ons tab of that page we were just on. But we have the add-on configured here. For your first time coming into PI, there will not be any resource type, so you'll need to add one from new. Just start a new line. You can create your new add-ons one after the other after hitting the save here. The code column isn't used unless it's for an external integration, which most cases you won't need to worry about. The order will show you what order each of these values appear in the dropdown when you're selecting the resource type. And active is whether the value like administration is an option in the dropdown. If you're phasing one out, such as project manager, that will not show up anymore. Rather than deleting, which we recommend to just inactivate it and keep it as for historical purposes there to refer back to it. What you can do from here is you can assign an individual user a resource type. Now, another word for resource type is skill or role. Now, you can assign I'm going to go to myself here, edit profile. This is going to be in the resource info tab. You can assign multiple skills or resource types to individuals or users in your system. There will be one main default resource type, and there will be additional resource types that you can assign. This is more informational, but it'll also come into play for time tracking and time codes, for rates, and also for reporting purposes of what the person's or what the resource's resource type or skill is. Now, if you want to do that for other resources, you'll go to your admin, to your users page here to edit each individual resource and choose their skill or their resource type. Once you've done that, let's go to a project. On this project, I have a bunch of tasks laid out in a nice cycle here, one after the other in their summary tasks. Now, where resource types or skills often comes into play is in a template of Project Insight. Now, templates can be found in your project home and managing templates, which is essentially the same as a regular project, but you can use it over and over again. Now, what we see resource types used most frequently is to assign a task to either a resource type or a role of a person. You know that this task is going to require administration type of a role, so you'll assign the template to this user or this resource type role, but not to a specific user. That's advantageous because when you're creating a project from this template, if I've got this task assigned to Jerry every time, then every time I create a project, Jerry's going to be assigned to this task, and I'll have to change it every time if it's not Jerry or if it's another administrator. Rather than that, I can assign it to an administration role, and I know coming into creating the project for the first time that I come in inline edit the task and assign it to someone in the administration role, such as Dylan or anyone else that has administration in their resource type or their skill. The other common way that I'll touch on briefly is using placeholder resources. Placeholder resources act as fake users. So in a template situation like this, or in a situation where I don't know who's going to be assigned to the project yet or to the task yet, I know this task is going to be done by a PM. So when I'm assigning tasks to them, I'm going to put that placeholder resource, which I've got a few of them down here. I'm going to put this PM placeholder resource on the task for now until I know what other PM is going to take the actual task assignment. Now remember, placeholder resources aren't actual users, and they have their own add-on just like the resource types that you can look at in other videos. If you wanted to assign all the tasks with an administrator on it, then you could select those tasks and bulk edit to change that task assignment to another administrator, such as Dylan here. And now I am assigned to these tasks, and I am an administrator, so I can be tracked in that way. I can also run a task report. In such a task report, up here in my report section, I could look for by resource type. In my filters here for the report, I've got it grouped by resource type, or that specific role. I also have the resource type column in here, so I can group all of these tasks. All of these tasks are tasks that have the resource type of administration. This is the name of the task. Over here is the actual resource or the person assigned to it, or the placeholder assigned to it. You can see all of these tasks have these resource types assigned to them. In addition to that, I can also do that in my resource allocation. Rather than, say, grouping by department, I could also do a group by or a roll up of resource type, which would look for the resource type default of each individual user from their profile that we set. So Bill and Dylan and all these users have the resource type of administration in their profile. And so when we run that, we're going to look at all those resources under administration or field representative or all the other resource types in the system.